you, Mike. Charles, same questions. Why do you want to be mayor, and what are your qualifications?
Well, first of all, Mr. Wooley got into some things that I think I'll deal with later on, because in looking at the questions that you have, there's a number of things that I'll talk about as far as my views on reductions in in funding, staff, and so on, and the direction that the city is to go in. First of all, the question was, why do I want to be mayor? Born and raised in Bay City, been involved in city politics on and off for over 20 years now. Was a founding member of the Northwest CDC. Have been and currently on the Northwest CDC, and was before I became a commissioner. I've been involved with the CDC off and on for that number of years. I've been a city commissioner for 6 years, balanced 6 budgets. Certainly, it's no secret we are definitely at a crossroads. I think all government municipalities are in the same shape, and I think we've got some tough decisions to make. There's no question about it. And again, I'll deal with some of those issues later on. Mayor, of course, has some different responsibilities and roles. One is to run the commission meetings, which is very important. The power of the veto, which can be extremely important, which forces a 5-4 item to become a 6-3 item in order for it to pass. Appointments to commissions and boards. And also, if I became mayor, I certainly would be a cheerleader for the city. I've recently retired. I have the time to devote the time to it. So if there are any events or activities going on, I'd be able to attend those, represent the city. Current mayor also belongs to a couple of organizations that I believe are very important. It's certainly important to communicate with other municipalities and find out what's happening in those communities as well, so that you can work together for the betterment of all of the cities in the state of Michigan. Finally, my qualifications for this position. As I said, I'm a retired school teacher, taught for 30 years with Midland Public Schools. Been a city commissioner for 6 years. I have an associate's degree from our local community college, Delta College. I have a Bachelor of Science in Business and Marketing Education from Central Michigan University, as well as a master's degree in Business Education and a master's degree in Secondary School Administration. I'm also on I'm a Bay Future Vice Chair. I'm co-chair for the Bay City's Festival of Lights. I'm on the Antique Fire Truck Museum Board, and I am the Commission Liaison for the Planning Commission.
Okay, follow-up question, Charles. Assuming property taxes are too high across the board, what would you try to do to reduce property taxes and also at the same time make the city financially viable?
You know, that's certainly crisscrossing the city and working since May. I've heard it from everyone, and I actually did a little survey that was handed out to likely voters. There were probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 to 5,000 surveys that were handed out that folks could mail back to me. So they had to put their own postage on it. We had over 100 respondents, certainly non-scientific survey. But in the survey, the residents, and I would be happy at some future date to share that information with you, but certainly the residents were loud and clear on the most important thing to them are police and fire. And it's no secret that they are the largest portion of our general fund, and something that we have to deal with, and we have dealt with. In the last 4 years, we have downsized the city to the tune of 67 employees, 22 from the police department, 5 from the fire department. And so as we move forward, certainly we need to look for as many cost efficiencies as we possibly can, and we are. And it's always on the Commission's radar to take a look at everything that we can do to reduce cost, and we will continue to do so. Currently, just reading, and I have the report from the city manager because we're doing this evaluation this evening. In reading the report, as I said, 22 police officers, 5 firefighters, and they're currently in talks, and I think we can reduce our fire personnel even further by more efficiencies in that particular department. We also have this MRF fund, which is a large fund that we put money into every year to replace vehicles, and it's a tremendous amount of money that we put in there, and I think there's some cost efficiencies there as well. Based on my prodding, we are actually doing a pilot program to see about refurbishing a vehicle, a trash truck, which costs us $250,000, and those are on a rotation plan for replacement every 6 years. And certainly that was fine, when we had greater revenues. But we will just continue to look for cost efficiencies, downsize. We have balanced the budget, as I said, for 6 years. I also have, and I have the figures that the city manager provided us on our fund balance, and the fund balance history for the last 15 years. And our fund balance is still, even though we've gone into there a couple times to, and I guess I'm getting ahead also. I'm starting to get into some cost efficiencies, and well, I guess that was question number 2, wasn't it, that you asked me? But the fund balance, we're still at about a 25% fund balance, even though we've had to go there a couple times. So I guess we'll just we'll keep doing that. We'll keep cutting. We have to balance the budget every year. We're not in a situation where we can carry over a deficit. So we'll continue to downsize and look for cost efficiencies.